Hello everybody, my name is David. Thank you for joining me today. This channel is called The Mars Coaching, and I help people recover and heal and grow from abusive relationships, narcissistic relationships, things like this. What I'm doing here is I do a weekly question and answer video every single Monday where I answer everyone's questions about this kinds of stuff. And I took a question this week and I'm making a whole video about it. So this is a question from the question and answer video. So let me read the question. From Shelly in California. Hello, Shelly. I apologize if this has been asked before, and I know I already said yesterday that please, it doesn't matter. Keep asking me the same exact questions. Don't worry about what it is or how bad it is or if it's a stupid question. There's no such thing, okay? So just ask me anything you want. Thank you. And you said, but I was wondering if you could outline some bodily signals our bodies give off when around a toxic person or situation. I know when it's happening sometimes, but I don't trust myself or my perception. My mother messed with my head. You second guess everything. And that's a big problem with being raised in a narcissistic family. And I'm not saying that you have to have a mother or father that's a narcissist. It's just narcissistic parenting. It's where the attention of the parents is put on their own void and not all put onto the child. Unconditional love and things like this. So we doubt ourselves, don't we? Horribly, 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 horribly. Let me tell you a rule that I live by, and if you guys can adopt this rule, it should help you very much. I hope it should benefit you. I've had a lot of people adopt this rule and place it into their lives, and it's helping them. All that matters is your feelings, not actions. It doesn't matter what you do, only how you feel about it. It doesn't matter what other people do or how other people feel, only how you feel about it, okay? Couples argue too much about what each other are doing and not telling each other how they feel. They're scared. They can't be vulnerable. I help couples in relationships. I help married couples. And it's just common. Anybody that does that helps married couples and relationships so they understand what the standoff is. And it's just a standoff. It doesn't have to be anybody even being toxic. It's just being scared. It's scared. It's that fear of being vulnerable. I don't want to get hurt. I'm not going first. You go first. You tell me everything and how much you like me and how scared you are, and then I'll go. Right? And once I can get someone to do that, go first and feel okay, feel safe enough to do that, then they're usually okay, off and running. You know, come back and see me in 6 months. But couples argue about what they're doing, and it doesn't freaking matter. I just talked about the Amber Heard and Johnny Depp case in my question answer video yesterday. All of that. You can listen to the audio for a half hour, an hour. They're arguing about what each other are doing. They're not talking about feelings, how they feel. I know that one of them started talking about, please don't leave me during fighting and stuff like this. So they're communicating their fears of abandonment and stuff like this. But we need more feelings, more feelings. We doubt ourselves too much. Feelings are not wrong. I cannot even begin to tell you or describe how much I get this all day with people saying, I'm sorry I feel this way. I'm worried to tell someone that I'm scared, or I don't want to hurt someone's feelings. Well, what about yours? Feelings aren't wrong, guys. So when someone tells you they feel some way, you sit there and talk about it and deal with it. It's not, no, you don't feel that way, or that's shame someone. How could you feel that way? Well, they do. It's just, we just do. We have our bodies doing something, emotions, our body moving and doing stuff, and just having awareness of what that is called your feelings. You're just saying what my body's doing. We can't control this all the time so well, So if you really care about somebody, you want to know what their body's doing. You want to know how they feel. I have an awesome quote I heard the other day. Awesome quote. I love this. When you doubt your power, you power your doubt. Doubt is a symptom of narcissistic parenting, of never being enough. How I feel is not enough, Mom. Oh, I have to go achieve. I have to go succeed. I have to have these grades. I have to, look this certain way. I have to... Never just being enough with how I feel, what I think, what I want, what I need. Okay, listen, that's it. That's enough. We have to self-check. We have to check in with ourselves all the time. Like I said about the narcissistic parenting, the parent's attention was not put on you and your body and your emotions. It was put on them and their voids. So we took our attention and we put it on other people too, and not on ourselves. And that's why we don't meet our emotional needs. And that's why we doubt how we feel, and we may even feel ashamed of how we feel. And that's why we don't use our feelings to know what to do next. We don't use our feelings, our awareness, to help us see red flags and what's going on, what's wrong. If I don't know, if I'm not aware of what my body's doing, then I don't know what I want. I don't know what I need. We have to self-check. Start doing this all the time, guys. Go everywhere you go. Before you leave the house, how do I feel? Once you leave the house, how do I feel? You're riding in your car. How do I feel? Walking down the street, how do I feel? My friend's calling me. My friend's calling. How does that make me feel? And then when I start talking to them, how does that make me feel? And then when I get off the phone, how does that make me feel? And then the next day, how do I feel about that conversation? It's all that matters. It's all that matters. I can go on and on and on about that rule, but I'm telling you, it's all that matters. Narcissists are against that rule. All that matters is what you do. Who cares how you feel, right? It's got to stop. So, the answer to your question, the most common reaction to manipulation from people, anxiety. I'm pointing here. This is typically where you'll feel it. Anxiety. Anxiety. Anxiety is not meant to be this horrible thing that follows around in such a part of our daily life. No. No. It's a warning system going, hello, warning. And we've ignored it. We've ignored how we feel. Our parents taught us to do that. I have a great example that I like to use. I just think it's so good. So, I'm adopted, and I found my real mother last year. And I connected with her and got her on the phone, and we started talking. It was like one of our first conversations, I can't remember. And she was excited, and I was excited, and yay! And she's like, I'm going to come out and see you out there in Las Vegas, and spend some time with you. I'll be out there like next week or something. And I was just like, oh, wait, cool. Oh, anxiety. Oh. I felt it. I immediately said, and I didn't have to sit there and wonder and ignore it and feel ashamed of it. And no, I said, hey, no. She said, no, what? I said, it caused me anxiety immediately. She goes, oh, too fast? Too soon? I go, yep. Let's talk about you visiting here in a couple months. Again, we'll revisit this. She said, good, great. Anxiety immediately down. I've had anxiety a lot in my life growing up and in relationships in my adult life. And I've cured myself of CPTSD, and a major part of that is start using anxiety to serve me, okay? And start calming down my anxieties, paying attention to what makes me anxious, and start curing my anxiety. I said, no, I will not live with this. I will not live with anxiety. I will not accept anxiety in my daily life. And so I took care of it, and things that made me anxious, I wouldn't do anymore. And then I tried to solve every single time I had a little anxiety. I listened to it and I fixed it and solved it until now it totally works for me. It works for me. It's a great measure of what I'm comfortable with and not comfortable with. And I don't have to feel anxiety for days, for weeks. And it's just a little, and then, okay, I stop it. But I have to be in tune with myself. I have clients that are in their 50s. And I have a checklist with clients. How do you sleep? How you eating? How's your anxiety? 0, none. Very few people come see me without any anxiety problems. It's a major part of what I do. It's help people with anxiety. How can you be in a 20-year relationship with a sociopath who beat you up for 20 years, but you don't have anxiety? No. Impossible. You had anxiety every day. Oh, watch out for this person. This person hits you. Why are you letting them in the house? Why are you standing next to them? Why are you talking to them? Anxiety, anxiety, anxiety. And you're saying, oh no, this is a bad feeling. I don't like it. I'm going to ignore it. I'm going to drink. I'm going to smoke a cigarette. I'm going to have sex. I'm going to run away. I'm going to stay at work all the time. That feels better. Fix the anxiety. Fix the anxiety. Listen to your anxiety. It's there to serve you. It's there to serve you. One of the biggest things that manipulators do in intimate relationships when they first meet you, what do? They try to go too fast. And you know what that feeling is, right? Oh, God, that's too fast. Oh, man, no, I don't really love you too. I don't really want to say I love you just quite yet. No, I don't really want to bring you into my house after I just met you and my children are here. It's anxiety. Don't do it. Listen to it. So, I talk to clients sometimes in their 50s and they say, no, I don't have any anxiety. And I tell them what anxiety is and they go, oh, I've had anxiety my whole life. Jesus. And they're like, that's not normal? Not everyone feels like total crap all the time? No. And I'm sorry for all of you that suffer from anxiety like that. Anxiety is a tool. What I did is I looked up 10 common symptoms of anxiety just to help you guys understand that you might be dealing with anxiety, okay? Fixation on the future, restlessness, poor concentration, poor decision making, or having problems making decisions, worry, tension, being tense, sweating for no reason, or just comes up fast, perspiration when it's not hot, and then once you stop thinking about something, it goes away. Insomnia, shortness of breath, hyperventilation, irrational fears. It's the unknown. Some people tell me, I'm scared, David, I'm afraid. When I finally get them to, whenever somebody tells me that, what are you afraid of? And they'll give me something general or something. No, specifically, tell me what you're afraid of. I don't know. It's anxiety. It's anxiety. Anxiety, most common, is felt in the chest. That's what I've noticed, and I've heard a lot of people say that. But it can overtake your whole body. Okay? It can consume everything. It can consume your day, your time, space. If anxiety is a problem in your life, or you have anxiety disorders, it's going to be very hard for you to begin these relationships with people. It's going to be very difficult. I recommend people with anxiety issues to solve their anxiety issues if they're solvable, to fix these things before you enter a new relationship so that you have that as a tool for you. The person who dates too soon after a relationship ends and they jump into a new one, they feel like this. They have anxiety and it's not there working for them. It's against them all the time, and they get hypervigilant and they think people are all bad. You're bad. You're trying to screw me over. You're lying to me because you're feeling this anxiety. You don't realize that that's you, that you already had that everything's making you anxious because you're not in control of it. People that have like narcissists and sociopaths will very commonly, especially sociopaths, have generalized anxiety disorder. And they enter relationships, don't they? Completely paranoid. They won't be vulnerable. They won't trust you. Because they can't use their anxiety as a tool to help them. These are all symptoms of not having a actualized, healthy sense of self, of who we are, and a very good relationship with ourselves. Worry, doubt, anxiety, depression. We're not in control of our life, and we don't know how to do it. We don't know how to emotionally navigate. Learn these things before you begin new intimate relationships, or you're going to get in trouble. Okay? We don't want to feel anxious in relationships. Right? And if you do, there's a problem. Either that's the problem with your own body and anxiety, that you don't regulate it. You don't give yourself what you need and stop things when it's scaring you. Right? or that relationship is causing you anxiety, something about that person. We have to be able to use that as a tool. I hope that helps. I know everybody wants very specifics. Oh, if my lip starts doing this and perspiring or maybe going like this, then that means that somebody's doing something to me. And it's up to you. It's your body. Emotions are your body doing things. Your body, not mine, not other people's, yours. Your body is doing things, and you need to be very aware of what that is, and that's called your feelings. And they're not wrong, and we listen to them, and we express them, and we tell people how we feel, and we take care of them. And we know what feels good so we can do it again, and we know what feels bad so we can avoid it, and fix it, change it. I hope that helps you guys. And that's just another reason why we can't just jump into new relationships. I don't care who does it. And I don't care if you say, oh, well, they're happy and all this stuff. It's just not healthy. And that's one reason, just one reason why. There's a part 2 to this. I just remembered. I'm glad I didn't forget. Shelley also asked, I also wonder why my brother and sister do not seem to have this issue of not standing up for themselves, but I do. More. It's just more. Standing up for yourself. Boundaries is what you're talking about, right, Shelley? What I'm comfortable with, what I'm not comfortable with. Standing up for myself is certainly a boundary. Somebody's doing something to me that I don't like, and I don't stop it. Why? It's about self-worth. It's a measure of your own self-worth. Boundaries are communicating what you're comfortable with and not comfortable with. And if you can't do that accurately or well, you have low self-worth. If I say, please don't do this, and somebody does it, and I let them, that's low self-worth. Boundaries isn't just saying what I'm comfortable with and not comfortable with. I have to feel worthy of my boundaries. If I say, nope, this is my boundary, I have to feel worthy of that boundary. If I want someone to step closer and tell me they love me, and I want my husband or my wife to stay home and not go out with their friends tonight because I feel insecure, and I want to ask them to stay home with me tonight, I have to feel worthy of that, don't I? It's like commanding a dog to sit. And if you just say, sit, sit, usually they won't. They'll stop. You need to be more commanding. You have to feel worthy of it. You have to mean it. All of this, more relationship with ourselves so that we know how we feel about things. Nobody else decides that for us, okay? So that's why there's no books out there saying, this is what I'm comfortable with, this is what I'm not comfortable with, because that's just written by somebody else. That's their boundaries, not yours. You decide your boundaries, and how do we do that? We check in here and see what we're comfortable with and not comfortable with. And if you want to start these new intimate relationships with low self-worth, people are going to walk all over you. Thank you all. If you could help me, please subscribe to my channel, vote up or down, share this, comment, ask me questions. I'll answer anything. Thank you. Love yourself first. I'll see you later. Bye.